Did you know, due to the chronic issue of overloaded trucks snapping their axle shafts, small-scale workshops in Pakistan have found a brilliant solution: recycling massive ship anchor chains salvaged from shipbreaking yards. These chains, originally designed to hold 50,000-ton vessels, are purchased for roughly $600 per ton. While high-powered industrial cutters are standard, a master technician here can do the job with just an oxy-acetylene torch and a steady hand. To streamline the forging process, workers split each link down the middle. This is a critical technical step. By halving the link, they ensure the metal remains straight and manageable during the initial lengthening phase. To maintain quality control, every single piece is weighed individually. This ensures that the final product meets the specific mass requirements for heavy-duty trucking. Once the pieces pass the scale, they're tossed into a furnace until they reach a state of incandescence, glowing a bright cherry red, roughly 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, the steel is as soft as warm taffy, but don't try to touch it unless you want your hand to evaporate instantly. The workers use long-handled tongs because the heat coming off that furnace is more intense than a breakup text on a summer afternoon. Now they start the lengthening process, hammering the glowing chunk bit by bit into a long rod. But here's the thing, even a master blacksmith can't hammer a square block into a perfect circle by hand. It would end up looking like a lumpy churro. Instead, they use a swage die, a two-part mold that forces the metal into a standardized round bar under the brutal force of a pneumatic power hammer. The bar then returns to the furnace for a reheat to prepare the flange, the head of the axle. The glowing end is placed into a specialized vertical die and struck with a massive air hammer. This compresses the metal, spreading it outward to form the wide disc where the wheel will eventually bolt on. At this stage, it's called an axle blank. Once the basic shape, the blank, is visible, the piece is air-cooled and moved to the lathe. Forged surfaces are notoriously rough and scaled. A machinist performs a roughing cut on the flange to smooth out the surface and ensure it sits flush in the next machine. Because these are made from recycled links of varying sizes, each shaft is then trimmed to a precise, uniform length using a cold saw to ensure consistency across the production line. It's like giving a group of scouts a haircut. Everyone needs to be the same height before the parade starts. The axle is then remounted for finish machining. To meet export-grade standards, the machinist removes the excess material left behind by the forging dies to account for surface decarbonization and to ensure the machinist has enough material to reach the final, perfect diameter. The flange must now be drilled to accommodate wheel studs. Accuracy is paramount here. Even a 1 millimeter offset would cause the wheel to wobble and eventually shear off. The workers use a drilling jig, a steel template that locks onto the flange, ensuring every hole is perfectly concentric. Following this, the neck of the shaft receives a final polish on the lathe until it is mirror smooth, removing any stress risers that could lead to cracks. It's so smooth that a fly would lose its footing and slide right off. An axle without splines is just a very expensive metal stick. The final stage is the spline milling. The shaft is fed into a hobbing machine or a spline mill to carve the drive teeth. This machine might be over 50 years old, but in the hands of a skilled operator, it maintains tolerances that would impress a modern factory. These splines allow the axle to lock into the truck's differential. So, there you have it, a heavy-duty truck axle born in the depths of the ocean and forged in a roadside fire, a high-strength, precision-engineered truck component. It's a masterclass in industrial recycling.